How have you guys been? Motorboat noises? Look, okay. My friend kept calling me a fuckboy, and I feel like it's rubbed off on me. It's unfortunately affected me in a way subconsciously because, I don't know, there's a lot going on. I was at PAX Australia, or PAX Oz, because I think PAX Australia is like a different company. And so I had a panel. I had a panel at PAX Oz with my friends and I in Vishayan. We had a very nice time, I think. Or at least I think we did. We heard you singing, yes. Yes, I apologize to everyone's ears. There was some clioaite singing at PAX.
Neighbors need to get to know each other next door.
But I went there for like business stuff. We had a panel, so we were there doing the panel. We were doing business meetings and events and parties and all sorts. So that's kind of like what I was busy doing for the week, because it was like, it's one of those things where you don't want to say too specifically what you're doing, otherwise people might get weird, like trying to track you down and whatnot. So I would prefer to keep myself anonymous. I would like to not get, doxed and whatnot. So I'm already in your walls. No, you're in my walls? My walls are very thin, so I don't think you'll fit. OPSEC is very good. Yes, OPSEC is important, and I try as much as I can, but I'm probably still butts at it. A lot of free food and drinks. A lot of free food and drinks at the various different like mixers and events and social events and like business meetings. So that was nice. That was very nice. Not having to pay too much money for food was very nice. The first event was a Thursday. I needed to get a haircut because my hair was all messed up from, I think, just not traveling, I guess. Just like not really doing anything because I'm just streaming at home, so my hair looked kind of dead. So the first thing I did was get a haircut. Went to the nearby salon, encountered a very gay man. A very, very gay hairdresser. But he was like old gay. And I don't know if everyone understands this concept, but there's definitely like an age gap between like older gay people and younger gay people in terms of, let's say, how accepting they are. He was an old gay, and he did not understand, or like he was kind of homophobic, but like in a way to like other types of gay people. So he was very like even to like lesbians, even though that's just like the flip side of his own sexuality, I guess. He was just a very interesting person. He was talking about like, one of my other clients is bisexual, and he was like as if like he was like, yeah, because bisexuals aren't real or something, right? And like he was pretty like homophobic, and I guess other types of phobic. So I was just like smiling and nodding, like I want to leave. How offended do you feel? It didn't affect me at all. I'm used to dealing with like older gay people because I've been to events like, older pride events in the past I've been to, and I think it's interesting to pick their brains about stuff like the AIDS epidemic in like the 80s, because it's just like a fascinating time in history, in my opinion. So I was approaching that from like just a historical curiosity of like, what was that like, right? Because it's a very weird time for like, I think a lot of young people to maybe understand. I mean, even people who probably were alive at that time probably can't even understand what it was like for them. I don't like modern history, but I like gay history. It's not necessarily that. It's just, I don't know. I think it's fascinating. It's just fascinating to hear like people's personal experiences, right? Like, don't you? Like, I might not be interested in the actual like broad, overarching sort of history of the event, like of the period, but I think people's personal experiences are worth listening to, in terms of like times in history, right? Because these are the things that we can still talk about because they're still in living memory, right? Same with stuff like the fall of the Berlin Wall, the fall of the Soviet Union and whatnot, and the the splintering of all the countries off from there. I don't know. I feel like that's interesting to hear people's personal perspectives on those matters. Because, you know, whilst we still can, although we are lucky in that we have technology now to record everything, so, you know, it's not like we are reliant on oral history. It's weird for you to hear your parents talk to you about watching the moon landing. Exactly, right? Like, that's in living memory. I think that's very interesting to hear. He was a very interesting cat, and it was just like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna, like, smile and nod whilst you, talk to me about how much you seem to dislike various different other types of gay people. It is what it is. Yeah, and then that was followed by going to the Twitch mixer. That was very nice. It was nice to meet my friends. I was meeting some friends for the first time. Some VTuber friends who I'd known for a long time but hadn't met before. So it was nice to see them. And then just have a fun socializing and being a silly goober, being a silly idiot, and drinking some beer and hanging out. But I will admit, I think I'm getting old. I think I'm getting very, very old. And I just can't, I think, keep up, I think, with the young people anymore. I just can't keep up with the youth anymore. So I was struggling. I was struggling to keep up, and I ended up feeling very tired after 3 pints. I had 3 pints, and I think I was done. I was like, I'm gonna fall asleep, and that's with eating a lot of snacks. That was Thursday, and then Friday was PAX first day. Went to see the con. Holy heck, there's a lot of people there. Meeting people, networking, talking to like vendors about like connections and stuff, and being a little bit obnoxious, I think. I don't know, I feel weird about it because it's like a convention and there's all these people around and like they're just there to, you know, hopefully have a nice time, and then like we stroll and we're like, hey guys, we're hotshot streamers, blah 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 blah. Well, we don't do that, but that's kind of how it feels like sometimes. That's kind of how it feels like. I always feel self-conscious, like I don't want to like make people's experiences at the con worse because we're there for like business, I guess. I don't know, it feels a bit pretentious, but you know, and then we have like private meetings and whatnot, so I got to have dinner, well, not dinner, we had lunch with some business people. That was nice, also paid for, which is very nice. And then there was yet another like streamer mixer event thing on, and I met Luke Dale there. If you are part of the Kingdom Come Deliverance streams of my streams, or you've played it yourself, I met Luke Dale, who is Hans Capon, or Capon, and I got to talk to him at the party for a little bit. I didn't want to bother him too much, but it was nice to meet him. I have a very bad selfie with him, so I can maybe Photoshop my face. I don't think I want to do it though. I do have some pictures with him, but I don't want to like Photoshop my VTuber face on top of my own face. But yeah, he's very sweet, and he was just in classic Hans Capon style. He was very good at talking about himself. But you know, I suppose if you're in like a business like this, you do have to talk about yourself and talk yourself up, which is very funny. But yeah, he's very affable. Yeah, we've raided him in the past. And I think there's a clip of him saying my name wrong, which is like one of his more popular clips as well, which is quite funny.
Got some raiders from clioaite. Thank you so much. Welcome to the chat, ladies and gentlemen.
It is what it is. People don't understand the IT versus the 8. You calling them cute? No, I didn't. I would never do that. Backo. Sorry.